Welcome to Witches in Yoga Pants, your cozy corner of the cosmos, where modern magic meets everyday life. We're here to explore magic, mindfulness, and personal growth with a grounded, no-fluff vibe. Whether you're into moon rituals, tarot spreads, or just trying to survive Mercury retrograde, you are in the right place. So get ready to disrupt some old patterns, explore what it means to reclaim your power, and remember who you really are. So pull up your yoga mat, light a candle, and let's get into it. This episode is sponsored by MeWe Fairs. MeWe offers in-person metaphysical fairs throughout Oregon and Washington, along with virtual online events that you can join from anywhere. To explore upcoming events and sign up, visit MeWeFairs.com and check it out. In today's episode, I'm joined by Donna Webb, an expert cardologist I met at a MeWe event, and I knew pretty quickly upon meeting her that I wanted to have her on the podcast. She's been a practitioner of Destiny Card System for over 30 years and brings a really unique blend of intuition and deep analytical insight into her work. With decades of experience as an educator, including teaching middle school science and working as a university professor, she has spent much of her life helping children and young adults reach their highest potential. In this conversation, we're talking about her new book and a class that she's created alongside it, both rooted in Love Alchemy and using Cardology to explore our romantic relationships. All right, so thank you for making the trek in to the studio today. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to have this conversation. I met Donna at the MeWe Fair here in Portland, and she was doing cardology readings, and I bought both myself and Brittany, my daughter, many of you know, a reading, and we went through it, and it was so fun and so spot on. And so, Donna, we can talk about cardology a little bit, because I know that when I met you, I did not know what that was. I'd never heard of it. And now that I have like one book and two more on the way about it, because that's how I roll, about your new book, which we'll talk about. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about where cardology came from, what it's based on, how old is it? Just tell me about it.
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here and share something I'm really passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So cardology is the ancient science behind playing cards. And the way that it works is that your date of birth, not including the year, just the date of birth, is associated with two playing cards. So the first card is called your birth card, and that's the soul's main personality, your authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing that card about a person tells me a lot about who you are. And how you like show up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second card that you're associated with is called the planetary ruling card. And that would be similar to like your rising sign in astrology, where it's how you appear to others. It's more about your external personality, how people perceive you.
Okay.
And you're a combination, your personality is a combination of these two cards. But cardology, I have found when I go to these MeWe fairs, is not known to a lot of people.
No, I've never heard of it. And I feel like I'm pretty I've heard of a lot of things. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yet you've heard of tarot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And yet tarot is a spinoff of playing cards.
Isn't that wild? Well, I kind of knew that. I knew that it was a spinoff. It was because at the beginning of tarot, they were like painted or very special for like only wealthy had tarot cards, right? And it was a game, correct?
Now,
wild to me.
When you ask about its origin, there's different perspectives on that. So the origin of playing cards is a bit elusive.
Okay.
Some who have written about cardology say that it came from the civilization of Atlantis.
Oh.
The people of Atlantis who had like higher knowledge and higher technologies at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And it came from that civilization and its scientists and astronomers. And then there's other people who think that it just came from China.
Oh, okay.
The first actual historical evidence of playing cards is actually in a museum in Istanbul. It's a partial deck of playing cards.
Okay.
And it dates back to the 14th century. So
It's incredible.
It's amazing how far back this knowledge goes. But what also amazes me is that if you look at that deck that's in the museum, it has 4 suits. It has 52 cards.
Mm-hmm.
How could something not change that much?
Yeah.
Sure, it did spin off to tarot, but there's such similarities even to tarot with the minor arcana.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that it still remained intact in its symbolism.
It's wild.
All
It's so
those
cool.
centuries.
It's like, how was that even? Yeah, that's so cool how that was passed on. Now, I've seen quote unquote tarot readers using a regular deck of playing cards. Are they equating that directly to the tarot meaning? Do you know? I don't even know if this is something you know or not, but are they equating it to the tarot deck, like, or are they reading Cardology? Because how is it the same and how is it different?
There are similarities. So as I just mentioned, the 52 cards, playing cards would be like the minor arcana of the tarot deck.
Okay.
So for instance, if a tarot card reader pulls like a 2 of heart, that would be like a 2 of cup.
Right.
So there is some similar overlap in the meanings.
Okay. And can you just go through? So hearts are cups.
Right.
Spades are swords.
Spades are swords.
Okay.
Clubs are wands. And
diamonds are pentacles.
Diamonds are pentacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yes.
I love that. So before we go too much farther, do you have a website where people can go and find out their birth card?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Go ahead and drop your website.
So Cardology is a system. It's a science system. And so a lot of people also call Cardology the Destiny Card System. So that's my website.
Okay.
DestinyCardSystem.com.
Okay.
And so if you go there, immediately you'll see an image that says, what's my card? And you click on that and look up your card.
That's where you can find your card. Okay. So DestinyCardSystem.com. Okay.
Yes.
So you can go find your birth card there, and you can find all of Donna's offerings, because I know that you have classes. You have a class coming up.
I do.
In February. You want to talk about that real quick? Let's get all that stuff out, and then we'll talk. We'll just dive in a little bit more.
Sure. So the class I have coming up is a class that is based off of my new book that was just released.
It will be here tomorrow for me.
And that book is called Love Alchemy, How Cardology Reveals Who We Love and Why. So I thought it would be kind of fun to have a class devoted to that book for Valentine's Day weekend. So my class will be the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th, between 10 a.m. and noon on, of course, Pacific Standard Time. And so within that class, I'm going to explain all about the contents of the book, how to use the book. You'll actually get a free digital copy of my book so that you can use the book right away. And the book basically explains how knowing your card and another person's card, how that information can reveal the purpose of your relationship. And that to me is just really intriguing, because you can look at relationships that you've had in the past, like an ex, and you can see what the purpose was and make a little bit of sense.
What was I supposed to learn?
Exactly.
Did I learn it, or am I going to have to do that again? Dang. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it gives that context. It also can help explain current relationships, because every relationship is associated with a card energy. It's called a composite. And that energy, like any card energy, has higher and lower manifestations of the energy. Like in human design, we talk about that as like the higher and then the shadow aspects.
Yeah, there's a shadow aspect. There's a mastery aspect. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's similar in cardology, that every card energy has that higher and then shadow aspects. And so you can look in my book as to what those are to kind of understand the relationship in real time.
Okay. And it's called Love Alchemy. Can you apply that to any type of relationship, friendships or otherwise? Or is it strictly romantic for that particular book?
Well, the book itself, I decided, funny you asked that because my first initial writing of the book, I wanted to cover all relationships. And then I pulled back because it just got to be
You're like, this is too much.
Right? But the concept of composite energy does track across all relationships.
Okay.
I decided to focus just on the intimate ones.
Okay.
Because I was getting feedback too from clients, and that's what they were
most curious about.
Yeah.
Do you want to just talk about your other book just for a second so people know that you have more than one?
Sure.
Yeah.
So my first book is called Unlocking the Potential of Children. How Cardology reveals your child's authentic self.
Yeah.
And
love it.
I wrote that book out of love because my background has been as an educator. I began teaching middle school children over 30 years ago and spent 20 years as a K through 12 educator. Then went back to school, got my doctorate degree in education, and then most recently was a professor, a teacher educator, if you will. And that's how I came across Cardology. Right.
You're like, there's got to be a handbook somewhere to manage these children. Where is it?
I know, right? We need this.
We need this.
And I was literally experiencing that because I was teaching inner city kids and I had a really tough group.
Right.
So I went to a New Age bookstore in inner city Houston called the New Age Bookstore. And they had this book on Cardology. And I read about my card. I'm like, wow, that's spot on. Maybe this can help me understand my students better.
Yeah. And how to, I know human design, you can do that a little bit. You can look at someone and be like, oh, this person, I really need to communicate with them this way. They're going to receive me better if I talk to them like this. And so I'm sure it's a similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
You're
so,
like, so good.
Being a teacher, you get all of their birth dates.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was old school. I took index cards and put their name on it and put their cards on it. And that's how I began using it, is to understand how to approach them, how to talk to them, how to deal with conflict resolution situations.
Right.
Is this a child that I can speak to in front of others, or do I need to speak to that child privately?
Right.
And then it morphed into, because it worked so well, it morphed into, how do I best reach this child academically?
Yeah. I was just going to ask if you saw like a clear cut, like before and after. It's like, oh, now that I know this about you and I know to handle and deal with you like this, it's completely different ballgame, right?
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
I mean, it just worked. It made me a better teacher.
Yeah.
And so the book, Unlocking the Potential of Children, is all about my knowledge through all of those years of teaching about children and how they're wired based on their card, and how to approach them in parenting or as a teacher to help kind of guide them to their highest potential.
I love that so much. Here, all this time we thought there were no guidebooks, but there are.
There are.
There are guidebooks. That's amazing. Okay. So let's dive in a little bit to, we have our birth card, which they can look up on your website. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that spreads out? Because there's a spread, like a life spread that you're dealt when you're born, right?
Correct.
So it's like a tarot card reading, only it's kind of fixed, right?
Exactly. It's
okay.
Fixed. So every single birth card has a life spread. It's basically 18 different playing cards in a certain order. I consider that like your blueprint of life, which would be similar to your birth chart in astrology.
Okay.
But it's a snapshot in time. It's when you're born. This is your personality. These are your strengths. These are your weaknesses. That life spread also can tell me about your past lives and related karma, people who you have soul contracts with, which comes up in my book, by the way.
Yes.
And your life path. What is the trajectory of your life path? That's what the life spread.
That's what the life spread. Now, I have a question about are the soul contracts what it prints up as cosmic lesson? Is those the same?
No.
Ooh.
Okay. So let me backtrack for
Okay.
people who maybe don't understand what a soul contract
Or who
is all
aren't
about.
sitting there looking at their life spread like I am.
Yes.
Sorry, folks. Yeah.
So I read this book, and I would highly recommend this book for those of you that like to geek out on this kind of stuff. But it's called Destiny of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton.
Okay.
And he is a clinical hypnotherapist. He has a PhD in counseling psychology.
Destiny of Souls?
Destiny of Souls.
I think I have.
And early on in his career, he accidentally hypnotized a client back to where they were just crossing over. And they started describing what was happening to them on the other side.
Wow.
And he was fascinated by it. So he started to do this intentionally, where he would have clients be hypnotized and then describe what was going on in a past life when they were on the other side.
Okay.
And he found that there were common stories of what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so Destiny of Souls, his book, is a compilation of literally hundreds of case studies of his clients describing what goes on the other side.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's amazing.
I come up with a lot of past life stuff in my work with human designs. I will definitely be ordering that. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. He also has another book called Journey of Souls. So that's
I've read that.
Okay, so then you're familiar with his work. So in at least Destiny of Souls, he talks about how our souls are part of these soul families.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as a family, help each other with soul growth. And one of the things that souls do on the other side is they process what happened in the past life. And then they also work on, well, what will the next incarnation be about? What lessons do I need to learn? What birth card will I be taking on for this next life and the inherent lessons associated with it?
Do people, if they don't get it, come back as the same birth card again then?
Yes.
Potentially?
Like repeating a grade. Yep.
Yep. It's just like...
same thing.
You're being held back.
Right. Otherwise, it'd be only 52 incarnations, but there's not. You can come back as the same birth card over and over again until you get the lesson. Yep. But a person who is, or a soul that is part of your soul family, they make contracts with you to come back in the same life incarnation to teach each other lessons. And in Cardology, they show up because their card shows up in your life spread.
Okay.
And where they show up is interesting. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So I have a client who's looking at her life spread, and her mother's birth card showed up in Saturn.
Okay.
And it showed up with the Queen of Heart, which happens to be the mother card or the mother energy.
Okay.
But Saturn is the planet of restriction and a little bit of structure.
Saturn is slow. Yeah.
Yeah. And a little bit of a challenge energy. And sure enough, that energy played out in this client's life because her mother really did not accept her for who she was as a person.
Okay.
And really wanted her to be somebody different. And so that restriction she felt really strongly growing up and still feels to this day, even though she's in her 60s. But the restriction had to do with her sexual identity.
Okay.
She knew from an early age that she was a lesbian, and her mother could not accept that about her.
Okay.
So that restriction in her life, that lesson to learn, was in her life spread.
Wow. Okay. And then how do you know if you learned that lesson or not? Like for her, can you give that as an example?
Sure. Well, she came to accept that relationship.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's when you know you learn the lesson.
That's when you know you learn the lesson.
Is when you see, like, how does that energy show up? Where does it show up? What is the lesson?
You can recognize the lesson is kind of part of the learning the lesson, right? You're like, now I got it.
Right.
Okay. So are all the cards in a life spread soul contracts with people, or are those reflections of you?
There's a combination.
Okay.
So they're soul contracts that are inherent in it, but they're also energies that indicate influences during certain times of your life and in certain areas of your life. It's a little more nuanced.
Okay.
So I'll give you a couple examples. So if you look at the cards that are in the Mercury, there's 2 cards in Mercury in your life spread. That card energy will describe your childhood influences. You'll see the Mercury has a date there, and the date is your date of birth. So that is an influence of energy that you'll have when you're born through age 13, so your formative years.
Okay.
That energy describes what your childhood influences are all about. But Mercury also is a planet that rules aspects of your life. So it rules communication, it rules knowledge.
Right.
So that card energy will also explain across your whole lifetime your influences within communication and knowledge.
Okay.
So as an example, I have a 10 of club as one of my Mercury cards. And the 10 of club is the teacher card. Well, guess what?
You're a teacher. Yeah.
I'm a teacher. So
yeah.
So that's an influence that is stronger the first 13 years, but then also within the area of what rules Mercury across your whole lifetime.
Okay. So mine are the 9 of hearts and 10 of diamonds. So I would have to look up those cards and read about what that was for my first 13 years then?
Yes. So like
okay.
I have, when I do readings for people, I have like a cheat sheet. So to get like into the weeds on those card energies, the 9 of heart is a card energy of like disappointment in love. It can be also the divorce card. So a lot of times when I see that card for someone in terms of their formative years, the influence there could indicate that there might have been like a disappointment, emotional disappointment in a family, or maybe a divorce early on that impacted you as a child.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, my whole childhood probably was a disappointment. Wah, wah. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was a rough childhood. So that was, But there are other reasons that I know about now of why that happened. It was part of my path. So
it's part of your path. What the soul is supposed to experience in order to stay on the trajectory of soul growth.
Yep. So it always happens for a reason. That old saying, it's really true.
Well, as I would say, it's what life has like, these are the cards you're dealt.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's an old saying.
It's true.
You got to learn how to play the cards you're dealt.
Exactly.
And then you can figure that out with this stuff. So
and I tell people that too, because people will come to me and say like, okay, like, am I going to win the lottery, or I want to make like a lot of money, and I've been studying the law of attraction. And what I have to explain to people is that there's, I think, this myth out there about the law of attraction, that just because you decide, okay, I'm going to think about money, I'm going to see myself receiving a lot of money and spending a lot of money, that you'll attract that to yourself. I'm going to put all these sticky notes up about manifesting money. Well, guess what? If being a millionaire is not part of your
of your path, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Now you can have moments in time where you can attract good money. But that might not be part of your whole life path.
Yeah. No, it's true. I agree with that. So I have a question. Well, I have a lot more questions about the soul contracts, but I don't know that since it's so nuanced, it's like you probably can't just look at a life spread and go, oh, here, and here are my soul contracts. It's probably more complicated than that.
Well, I could if I had the birthdays.
If you had the
other
birthday.
people.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
like as an example, like
okay.
I know from like my life spread that my first husband was my cosmic reward card.
Okay. Okay.
My second husband, my current husband, is my direct Saturn card. So those are significant soul contracts.
Those are significant soul contracts. Okay. So now I can't remember where I saw it. If it was, I've been geeking out on this since I met you. But somewhere there's a cosmic, so it shows 2 cosmic lessons when you look at it. And there's one that you owe to someone else and one that someone owes you. Is that right?
Okay. Not exactly.
Okay.
So you're talking about the karma cards.
Karma cards. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a first karma card and there's a second karma card.
Okay.
And if a person's card is your first karma card, that means that you owe them in this lifetime. That's based on a past karma, a past life.
Okay.
If they're your second karma card, that means they owe you.
Okay. I have to go back and look at my thing. So then the other question is different birth dates. Okay, how do I say this? A card, like say my card, 3 of spades, there are multiple birth dates that have that card. It's not just one.
Correct.
So when you look at your karma card and you're like, I know this person and this person and this person that fit that card. Can that lesson be fulfilled by anybody with that card, or is it that person specifically? Did I ask that in a way that makes sense?
I think so. So
people listening might not understand what I'm saying, but
so as an example, so my son, he's a 5 of heart.
Okay.
That's his birth card. His first karma card is a 4 of diamond, and the main relationship that he was in, a romantic partner, was a 4 of diamond. It's her birthday today.
Oh,
Call out to her.
Happy birthday. That's awesome.
And so they're no longer together, but they're really, really good friends to this very day. In fact, I texted her this morning because I still adore her.
Yeah. Oh.
But in that dynamic, he owed her something.
Okay.
And so once that contract was fulfilled, their relationship, in terms of being an intimate partnership, evolved.
Okay. And they remained friends.
Yes.
But the lesson that they had to deal with was complete.
Right. And that's what I think a lot of people don't understand is that I think society or culture or just watching the Hallmark Channel tells us that you're supposed to have this person who's your soulmate that you are with your whole lifetime. You marry someone, you're supposed to be together. Well, that's not really the case.
That's not really the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. I think people that find that, do you think that people who do meet someone and stay with them their whole life, whether it's through culture or conditioning or belief systems or for whatever reason, whether they're happy or not, they stay, is that part of you're going to be stuck in this lifetime? It's like,
well, it can be different. It's obviously a little more nuanced, but it can be because you were meant to, and this is what my book helps elucidate, is that what is the purpose of the relationship?
Right.
And there's 3 primary types of intimate relationship purposes. One is that it's healing karma.
Okay.
And if it's a healing karma relationship, it might mean that in this lifetime, you are meant to stay together and heal each other. And it's good and it's nurturing.
Okay.
Then there's another type of purpose, which is growth karma, meaning that you're in each other's life to spiritually grow. One or both people, usually both. But once the lesson's learned, then you move on.
Right.
If the lesson's not learned, you could stay together, but then you don't learn the lesson.
Right.
And
Right.
then the third purpose of a relationship is what's called an unfinished soul contract, where you began some type of a lesson in a past life, but for whatever reason, it never was able to work its way out. So maybe one person, died early, or just freak accident or something happened. And you didn't get to complete that contract. So now you're trying to complete it in a different lifetime.
Okay. Wow. It's also fascinating to think about and so in depth.
Yes.
So there's the life spread, and then there's each year a new spread. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. So this is where it just gets really, really fun. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, take it to a whole new level.
I'm looking at mine going, I don't even know what's happening.
So every single birth card has a predestined yearly spread of energies. And when I say yearly energies, I mean birth date, not calendar year energies.
Okay, so it goes from birth date to birth date?
Right.
Okay.
So every age has a different yearly spread of energies. And those spread of energies are the energies that you as a person take in and can manifest either in a higher or a lower manifestation of that card energy.
Okay.
And so that's where free will comes in.
Right.
So as an example, I have a client who had kept asking me. She had not been in a significant relationship for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 years ago, she came to me and she's like, when am I going to meet someone and be in a relationship?
Yeah. Where is he? When is he coming?
Right.
Yeah.
So I can look ahead
and
in
see
her yearly spreads and see. So what I look for is I look for like an ace of heart, which that's the energy of a new beginning in love, or even better, a two of heart, because the two of heart is the card of intimacy and like a committed relationship.
Okay.
And so looking at her spreads, I was like, 2 years. And she's like, 2 years? What do you mean 2 years? So
it'll be worth the wait,
yes,
promise.
Exactly. Especially with the two of heart, because it's, commitment.
Yeah.
So, and there was like some card energy there too, where I'm like, there's going to be a summer fling. So, and that was last year. And so I literally got a text message from her last August, and the text said, the summer fling has begun.
Okay.
And then she came to see me this year, and I told her, well, the energy of that relationship that I've been telling you about is going to be, it shows up in October of 2025, that two of heart. And underneath that card is a jack of diamonds. So I can tell you that he's going to be younger than you, and he's probably going to be a diamond male.
Okay.
A jack of diamonds.
A jack of diamonds.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get a text message. This is true story. This was a few months ago, a Saturday night, and I just happened to have my phone on the nightstand, and I'm watching like something on Netflix, and I get this text message from her, just a birth date, and I'm like, well, what does this mean?
What does this mean? Why are you sending me a random birth date?
Right. So I'm like curious. So I text her back, and I'm like, what are you talking? She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, because I meant to just put it in my phone and send it tomorrow. But she said, I'm on a third date and it's going really well, and I got his birth date.
Oh.
So curious, I'm curious, because this is November.
It's like a background check to normal, not normal
Right?
people, but like to someone else.
It is a background check.
It's like, run this guy for me. Run him.
Oh, I get that from my son all the time. Mom, check out this birthday for me. So
that's great.
Sure enough, I checked the birth date, and he's a 4 diamond.
Oh.
He's a diamond male.
Okay.
And he's younger.
Okay.
And I go, bingo.
Oh, so the person didn't have to be the jack of diamonds. It was just someone younger, a male diamond.
Correct.
Right?
But it can show up in different ways.
Okay.
Sometimes I can see it where the actual card shows up.
Okay.
But in that case, it didn't manifest that way.
Okay.
So we're texting, and she tells me she met him at a Halloween party in October. Remember, I had
and that's when it
predicted
happened. Yeah.
That's when they met. And I actually met him in December at a party. She had a party at her house in December, and I finally got to meet him in person.
Okay.
And they're a committed couple now.
Wow. So cool.
That's how like amazingly predictive the yearly spreads of energy can be.
Yeah, that's wild.
And they can predict, I can see in your yearly spreads, new work, ending of work, moves, travel, what's your financial situation going to be, what's your romantic life maybe going to be.
Yeah.
You know, the good and the bad of that. Health conditions, like
all of it.
All of it can show up.
That is so cool.
Spreads.
That is so cool. I could literally geek out on this for days. It's like so cool. There's also, I'm looking at the one that you printed for me. There's also a 7-year spread. Now, how is that different from a yearly spread? Is it like zoomed out?
It is zoomed out.
Okay.
So if we zoom out the furthest, your soul's life is your life spread, right? That's the energy that characterizes your whole life.
Your whole life. Yep.
But then we also go through 7-year spreads of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the 7-year spread is all about, is the energy that you are predestined to experience in a 7-year cycle.
Okay. Wow. And so the spread, I'm really literally looking at the printout you gave me when I did a reading with you at the fair. To get a printout like this, you would need to have a reading.
Yes.
There's nowhere you can just print this. Well, trust me, you don't want to try to figure it out. It's too complicated. Just get a reading.
Yeah. Or the books.
The books.
So like The Cards of Your Destiny by Robert Lee Camp.
Yeah.
You'd have to invest in reading the whole book though, but you could figure that out.
You could figure it out. Yeah.
Or you could I use his software. So that's how I get the printout.
Yeah, you could do software too.
But the easiest is just
to get a reading. Yeah. But the 7-year spread changes every 7 years. The 1-year spread changes every year on your birthday. Is that right?
Yes. But
and
the
then
7-year
spread
also on your birthday. So for instance, I start a whole new 7-year cycle this coming June on my birthday.
Okay. So it's literally 7 years at a time from birth.
Birthday, right.
Got it. And then, okay, so let's dive in a little bit to, I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but I feel like there's more to say about your new book, Love Alchemy, that just came out last month or this month? This month, just now. Let's talk about that a little bit more, because I think the idea of the composite card, understand what that was.
Okay.
Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, you have, based on your birth date, 2 cards that you're associated with, your birth card and then your planetary ruling card. So in my book, I talk about what's called a composite card. And the composite card, you can think about it as being like the combined or composite energy you have with another person when you're together.
Okay.
I, having a science background, like to use the following analogy with it.
Okay.
It's like when you learned in chemistry about a chemical reaction.
Okay.
Where you take one chemical, you combine it with another chemical, the combination of that chemical creates a reaction, and it creates a whole new substance, a whole new energy.
Well, if you want to go that analogy, I know in some cleaning supplies, they're deadly.
And so too are composite relationships.
Okay. Okay. That's
Bingo.
a good analogy. Okay.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I can figure out the composite energy of a relationship by taking 2 people's birth cards and combining them.
Okay.
Combining the energy, because every birth card is associated with a number. So an ace of heart is equivalent to a 1. A queen of heart is 12. And
Okay.
it goes on, a king of spade is 52. So I
Oh,
take,
okay.
to get the composite energy, you take those numerical values and add them together. And whatever number you get, you look up the card that's
The card
associated
for
with
that.
it, and that is your composite energy.
Okay. That's so cool.
So using the birth cards, I can look up the birth card composite. But there's also a planetary ruling card composite energy.
Okay.
So let me talk about the
Yeah.
differences.
Yeah. I was just going to ask what the difference was. Okay.
So your composite birth card energy, that describes the purpose of your relationship with that person.
Okay.
Like I was talking about before, is the purpose, is it going to be a healing karma relationship? Is
Right.
it growth karma? Is it unfinished soul contract?
Okay.
What are the positive
How
or
valuable.
mastery,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Aspects of what are the shadow sides of that composite energy? And then the planetary ruling card composite is more about how the relationship plays out in real time. So more like how you guys get along, day-to-day compatibility. So as an example, if you had a birth card composite that is a 9 of heart with someone that you're with, it's probably not going to work out. Because the 9 of heart, if you look on my cheat sheet, is the divorce card.
Yeah.
Or the disappointment in relationships, emotional disappointment, endings, learning to let go and love. So that would not indicate that this is going to be a relationship that is going to be enduring.
Right. Well, nines in general, I remember from our conversation off that we've just had, nines are ending cards in some way, right? And 9 of hearts would be cups, which is emotional, right?
Right.
So,
emotional endings.
Okay. Wow.
So that would be part of what and that's a growth karma
Mm-hmm.
kind of composite. So part of what you're learning to do in that relationship is to learn to let go.
Gotcha.
Or learning how to deal with emotional disappointment in someone. Learning to the higher manifestation of that card energy is the counselor. So it might be that you are
Of the 9 of hearts in particular, or nines, not 9 of hearts?
9 of heart in particular.
Okay.
So the way that can manifest in a higher way is that through learning in that relationship how to let go, you can then counsel other people and how to deal with emotional disappointment or how to let go.
So that's an example of the higher expression and the lower expression.
Right.
Okay. Heartbreak and ending to being able to go on and help guide others through similar situations or similar lessons. Wow. I love that.
So let me add something too to throw in a little, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
To all of this. So we just got finished talking about the yearly spreads.
Yeah.
What's interesting that I have found rather anecdotally that I've been tracking for a while is that when you are in a relationship with someone that is a soul contract and it gets activated, the composite card shows up in your yearly spreads.
Oh. So when the lesson is activated within the relationship, it shows up? Is that what you mean?
Yes. When the lesson is activated, that composite card of the lesson shows up in a person's, sometimes both people's yearly spreads.
Okay.
So as an example, I have a client who has been in a new relationship for about 6 months. And so I looked up the composite and that composite showed up.
Wow.
That year. And sure enough, the energy of that composite, it happens to be to a club, meaning that's the conversationalist card energy, like talk. And that does describe their relationship. Like they just can talk for hours and hours and hours on end.
Okay. Wow.
And so that card showed up, and his card shows up in her spreads and vice versa.
Okay.
In the yearly spreads.
And that's how you can tell that it's a soul contract, is when it shows up in both spreads then, or no?
Yeah, soul contracts are more connected to your life spread when they show up in the life spread.
Okay.
But there can be just like, maybe a better way to say it would be like mini lessons that you have with people.
Okay.
That can show
people
up
that teach. I mean, I'm sure that there's
things.
people that teach you lessons that get you closer to your big lesson.
Correct.
I would have to guess. Yeah.
Right. And that does show up in your yearly spreads for sure.
Yeah. And so by looking ahead at your yearly spreads, like can you tell if those people are going to stay together, or if they're they just don't show up anymore, or there's an ending?
Well, sometimes if they don't show up for maybe like a year or two, it could just be that things are just status quo.
Mm-hmm.
But if they completely disappear, then typically the lesson's over.
The lesson's over.
You move on. It's not a good sign if their card just disappears altogether.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're done.
You're done. Bye.
Yes.
Next lesson, please. Because I'm sure there's more than one. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So let's wrap this up a little bit and talk about your book that just came out and the class that you're doing the day after Valentine's Day, the 15th. We talked a little bit at the beginning, but how can people sign up for that?
Okay. So earlier I gave you my website, which is destinycardsystem.com.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to my website, at the very top menu, I have it posted classes.
Okay.
And so you just click into that. The cost is $60 for this 2-hour workshop. I'll probably have more posted. There is a limit. I'm only going to take 12 people in this initial class. But basically, the class will teach you how to understand the composite energies. It will also teach you how to calculate it for your specific situation. I'll give you the opportunity to do that.
Love it.
You'll receive a free digital copy of the book, so you'll be able to then take that composite that you calculated and then look it up and see what your composite is for, whether it's an ex or a current relationship or a potential relationship you might want to have with someone. So you kind of can see, are there red flags here, or is it a go? Right. Kind of energy. So to make an informed decision, because you do still have free will.
Yeah.
And so, and I also will make it a little bit more fun in that I'm going to be talking about like a celebrity couple. I'm not going to say who, but a celebrity couple. Okay. And I'm going to look at their life spreads, their soul contract. I'm going to look at their yearly spreads. Okay. And kind of show it as like a case study example. And how the composite card even shows up, activating the lesson in each other's lives. Wow. In their spreads. And then
I have a guess, but I won't guess.
Okay. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And once again, I think a reading is the best way to go, but definitely get the book and you can sign up for the class and geek out on it. It's so cool. I could talk for hours. I love it.
Thank you, LaDeene.
Thank you.